Cool. Let's get started for real. The so let's there we go. So the subtool that's right now in blue is the only thing that's left to finish on this character. Once I'm going to be finished with these, with this part, I'll probably do like a little like revision, make sure I'm happy with like every aspects of the character, and then I might give her a little like texture pass, and then pose her, and she'll be ready for rendering. Actually, on the right you have the wasp that is already textured. So with that texture here, I actually have enough information to send it in Keyshot and use the texture as a curvature pass to make materials and that sort of stuff. Thanks for the follow. No, yeah. All right. Gonna leave myself a note. I'm taking notes on how to improve my Twitch sessions. I'm doing that for you. You specifically. Yeah, all right. So, all right. So what I'm going to do today will probably be the bust area. I mean, I could work on the back here where the arm connects. That's going to be a part that I'm not really going to care too much about, but it's going to be, it might be actually hard to connect like this whole like piece here, like this thing here. Like already I know that like I'm probably going to need to kind of like push that in, give me a chance to connect the rest correctly. It's not really well adapted. But what to start with? I might start with the front part. There we go. Let's start with the front. Maybe I should keep the arms this time. First time chat from viewer Zinfire. Hey. Just finished your previous videos, finally caught up. Hey, I'm happy that you're here. Nice little icon there, Zinfire. Pretty cute. Your works are really inspiring. Well, thanks, Kyle. I really appreciate that. I'm really loving this Twitch thing more and more, actually. I started like a few weeks ago, and yeah, it's fun. I cannot say otherwise. So you know what? Let's start by cutting this character and like dividing the head from the rest of the body, just so that I have a easier time to manage my my subtools and all. All right. You guys want to hear a funny and disgusting story? Maybe I should not tell that story that early in the stream. Maybe I should just reserve it. You know what? I'm going to tell the story only to people that are subs. I'm kidding. But yeah, maybe I'm gonna wait just later in the stream so that like people that are new to the stream are not scared of my disgusting story. It's pretty much the most disgusting thing that happened to me. So yeah, let's keep it for later. Sorry for teasing, but I have to be careful with that story. I got layers on this. What happened? Okay. Let's create a folder. Head. There we go. How to get people in the stream. Oh yeah, exactly. I think I should probably like do that all the time. Kind of tease you with something at the beginning so that people stay. And you see, like some more people joined the stream, so yeah. I'm just gonna tease every night that I'm gonna say something at some point. That's so fucking cheap. I guess it's a good marketing tactic, but nah, I'm not into marketing so much. I should. I mean, I'm pretty good at marketing when it comes to my company because there's a lot of things that I can say great about our company and everything. And when it's time to sell my company, I mean, there's a lot of good thing that I can say and things that I'm proud of and like I mean we did amazing things and that sort of stuff. So like that I can actually like sell and I can market my company really well. But um, otherwise not really a huge fan on like marketing things. I prefer to let things happen somewhat organically, I guess, which makes me a bad marketing person for sure. I mean, that's the one of the reason why I never really pushed really hard on in the whole NFT thing. I find it's a bit too much marketing for my taste. Not enough like art in its pure form, let's say. In morning, yeah, for me it's more good night, good evening, good soirée, because it's 9:20 here. Eating as usual. Yeah, I know. If it works, it works. Most artists are bad at marketing. Yeah, for sure. Um, but yeah, at some point I had to learn for my company. So, but like I said, I prefer to stay away from doing it too often. Let's say different part of the brain. Yep, it absolutely is a different part of the brain, and the you know what? I think that it's actually I have like nothing against like people that are marketing themselves. It's part of the game. It's important. I totally respect it. No problem with that. I have a problem about like certain marketing tactics and some ads. That's for sure. Like selling Ritalin for to kids, sort of stuff might not be the best thing, maybe. But by itself, somebody that markets itself, not a problem. Like I have nothing against people that decided to play the NFT game, even if like like I said in my book, it's more marketing than art for real. But in general, let's say never talk in only black and white. Yeah, well, you see, that's something I find that like art can like really like speak for itself. I find that's why it always bugged me, like to go to a museum and to be told like why a piece of art is like important and valuable. And it's like, you know what? I'll be the judge of that. I f- I kind of like have this impression that like sometimes you go like in museums and they kind of like sell you more the artist rather than the art, and I don't like that. All right, so everything that's blue is going to be a part of the body that's left to do. So now let's start splitting that thing apart. So this thing in the middle here, probably going to use an IMM for this. Don't know if I have one somewhere, just to save on time. It's a really easy piece to model by hand if I need to, though. So maybe I'm not gonna start looking for IMMs necessarily. All right, maybe let's Dynamesh all of that. Hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. Waybe, welcome to the chat. Am I gonna want to keep those orange parts here? Maybe not. All right, let's cut it this way then. Let's split the middle part here. Any good IMM library you could suggest? Not really. I don't like. I use like a little bit of like things here and there, not a lot. I mean, I back in the day, I was happy to have Vitaly Bulgarov's IMM library. Ended up not using it a lot. Like I'm saying that, and like I think that this like joint thing here is from his library. But I think I've been using like only like some parts of it and that sort of stuff. It's a good one. It's a good library. Don't get me wrong, right? But it's just like I ended up like not really like using it much in after all. But it's a useful one for sure. But otherwise, no, I don't use a lot of pre-made libraries. I kind of like do my own and I just like stick with them through from one model to the other. Thanks for the follow. Oh, Medzi, that's a subscription right there. We got a sub. We got a sub. All right. So Medzi, are you going to be using your emotes now? There we go. Me drinking. Perfect. Well, you know what? I'll drink to that emote. Very happy to see you joining the ranks. Yeah. Founder badge. I'm gonna have to be careful with like my alerts, because I just realized that I cannot really differentiate what is a follow from a sub. I'll probably have to customize that as well. There's so many things to do. So little time. Streaming is not an easy game, that's for sure. But at least I'm discovering things little by little. And I got friends also like helping me, because yeah, I mean, there's a lot to learn for sure. Like last night when we did the stream, I just remembered at the end of the stream, my friend told me like, oh, you have to like give you have to raid someone just to like show respect and be helpful and stuff. And so I was like, oh yeah, I could do that. And I just like ended up like asking the stream help me to figure out how to raid and such, because I haven't even looked. But I like this aspect, like this community aspect actually. If I can just like ask you guys to help with stuff, and people are really willing to help and to answer questions, and I really appreciate that. It's really cool. So like I help you, I show you how to do 3D, and you help me on how to use Stream. Yeah, win-win situation. How to use Stream, how to use Twitch. Wow. Here you go, Josh. Yeah, rating seems to be a good tool for that. I appreciate it. And I mean, the person that I rated, she was really appreciating of the thing, and I don't know, I felt warm inside. It was cool. All right, let's ZRemesh this. Why is this taking so much time? Let's reduce the Dynamesh just for the moment, just to help with the ZRemesh. There we go. It was just too high in resolution. Let's reproject. There you go. Bring back here. I got subdivisions all on that. So people are sometimes asking me, why do I ZRemesh my things? Just two reasons. First of all, one, it's easier to work with the piece and move the camera and ZBrush when your objects are ZRemeshed, because there's subdivision levels and it can compress the mesh while moving. It makes it easier to navigate your mesh. And also later when I'll do a transpose master, it'll help to actually collapse the layers and move things at a lower subdivision level. So also something else, since I'm getting nearer to the top of like the head, and when I'll do renders, I'll probably focus on this like part here. I'm going to start probably to separate more meshes into like different different meshes, actually, just separating them. And the idea behind that is let me show you the leg. So you see, like, on the leg here, like, this part is its own part, this part is its own part, and the fact that they're not connected together, it actually, like, helps me into, like, creating a separation between the mesh, but also, like, add things that might actually go one into the other, and creating this, like, feeling of like, interconnection of pieces. And it's actually it's more time consuming to actually have this, but since I'm nearing a important area, like, I'd rather go the extra mile and, like, do that. So that's going to be separate. That's going to be separate. Under the breast here, it's going to be separated. Am I really going to need to disconnect here and here? Maybe not, but this part here probably. And the rest, the parts at the back here, are also going to be separated. And this part here also separated. So yeah, let's go with that. Is this robot considered as thick? Yes, I would say that this robot is thick, which could be part of her code name. The thick mantis. Mantis. The whole idea of the design was actually to have her look like she's, like, in a sexy apparel with, like, the long boots here. The kind of, like, long gloves and stuff. Even, like, the way that the tubes are actually, like, meshing. You got, like, some, like, wannabe how do you call that again? Pantyhose and panties here. So the whole idea was to actually, like, have, like, this, like, sexy look to this character that's actually just a robot. All right. Oh Lord. Okay, so for this character, since there's a lot of things that I want to split, I'll actually be using a little trick here. Let's put everything white. Let's take our brush only in draw mode. Let's draw lines where I want things to be separate. I want to create a mesh that's going to be like this. I want to create a mesh that's going to be separate here. I'm basically drawing the contour of every mesh that I'm going to want. And yeah, so, like, I don't think I'm going to be separating those two parts. It's not like if there's really, like, a change of plane or anything. So let's just make my life easier. Which is, I often talk about efficiency. And I mean, the knowledge of efficiency really comes with experience for sure, right? But you always have to have at the back of your head kind of like an idea of like how to be efficient. So you have to practice that muscle. But the idea is that I actually think that since I've been thinking about, like, how to be efficient a lot, there's a lot of, like, consideration into, like, doing something that is based on, like, just trying to be efficient with it. Because, like, right off the bat, what I'm doing, like polishing a character to this level, is already something not necessarily efficient. It's very time consuming. It's fun and I love it, but it is it is very time consuming. So might as well find like shortcuts and a way to make it like a fun experience as much as I can. I need to use this, always forget this trick. Not doing a lot of hard surface. Yeah, well, I mean, the whole idea of drawing the outlines and to use it to separate the meshes afterwards is something that I actually would recommend doing for even for like other parts of the character and whatnot. Okay, did I draw all the contour that I needed? Mm. No, wait, I'm missing here. Okay, yeah, that should be all right. So that was a bit tedious, but now I can actually separate my mesh. So let's duplicate this. Let's keep this as a master. I'll just undo my paint. So I will hide this. All right, so mask by intensity, click F, reverse. So now you should actually be able to auto group everything into separate pieces. And it worked. So once you have this, I'll just grow a few parts because the selection kind of like ate a lot of the contour. That might be too much. I'll make it symmetrical. That's probably enough. So now that I have all of this, I'll simply pick the parts I want to keep. There we go. Those are going to be the parts. I'm going to delete everything that's hidden. I'm going to do a group loop of one loop. So it's going to round the corners, but also it's going to make sure that nothing is connected to each other. That there's no like two pixels that are, pixels, polygon that are really touching each other. And this way, when I'll be doing a ZRemesh, it'll be actually a bit cleaner. So ZRemesh. Before doing a ZRemesh, I just want to get back my shapes. I just want to polish a little bit of like the surface, because right now some of them are a bit skewered, not really like the mesh I'm looking for. Shape, sorry, looking for. I'll need to add the thickness also to it. So this is going to look weird here at the back before I actually like fix it. But yeah, let's temporarily split all those so let's do a split, a group split. Boom. And let's work on giving them their shape back. So just select the outside of this mesh here. It's going to be easier to visualize once I add the thickness. But for the moment, let's concentrate on that. All right. So this piece here, like I said, I'm not gonna disconnect here, but I'm gonna get rid of this detail for the moment because it's going to be maybe oops, a bit of a pain in the ass when doing the ZRemesh. So and also I think I'm going to want to kind of like accentuate a bit like this shape here. It's maybe too strong. Just want to create like a change of plane here like this. Actually, will I want to make this a little bit more complex? I mean, I could be spared to make this a little bit more intricate. So maybe I should split it. Hmm. Yeah, maybe I could. Let's go for it. I'm going to want to round this thing here. This detail I'm going to get rid of for the moment for sure, because it's going to be much easier to create a detail like this after the fact. After the so now you got those in separate meshes. All right, and before creating the ZRemesh for this part here, there's just two things that I want to make sure. There's a certain there's like two planes that I want to make sure that they will remain like with a hard edge. And what I can try to do is simply assign like a polygroup. Let's mirror and weld this. Oops, that was not supposed to be there. There we go. And the blue part here, I'm going to want to keep this like edge also. So by adding the polygroup, I'm helping to keep the edge loop here clean. So we'll see how ZRemesh is actually handling this, though. All right, let's try that. All right. ZRemesh at, I don't know, 1,000 polygons. Taking a bit of time. Oops, I forgot to click on keep groups. Yeah, it's a bit weird here, but maybe if I smooth things out, the rest is acceptable. I wonder if I just run ZRemesh again, what it's going to give me. No. All right, what if I smooth this? I think I see why it's actually doing that. Let's try to just smooth the edges here a bit. Maybe it's going to help. I'll actually add. Okay, that's a disgusting shape. Jesus Christ. All right. There we go. There you go. And there you go. So with this smoother contour here, it's probably going to give me a better result. Let's try this. Hey, Rhiannon. It's weird that sometimes ZRemesh just explode your mesh if you go too low. Yeah, it's. I don't believe that it's really because you go too low. I think it's really because there's just like an artifact in the mesh that the ZRemesh is just not able to handle correctly. And especially I know that like spiky shapes, like he has like a whatever, it has a hard time to handle it. But you see, like that here, it's fine. I mean, it's going to be a little bit more low res around this area, but I don't think it's going to create that much problem. I can live with I can live with that. Plus, I didn't have to retopo that part, so hallelujah. Yeah, I know ZRemesh has an alta algorithm, but I actually I've never considered that it's like making such a better job than the original. Like I find that just fixing any potential weirdness in the mesh has given me more like better results in the past. Uh, but yeah, before giving up, I always try the alt thing. So yes, you are correct that it can help. All right, let's just push the contour in a bit. I'm also going to want to make sure that my the width of this strip of detail is also somewhat consistent. So I'll just push it by hand, try to just give it somewhat of a just so it has like somewhat of a constant flow with the rest of the lines going around. That's what I call the line flow, basically. I'm actually very prudent with the line flow. It's something I pay a lot of attention to in my stuff, but especially also when I look at like other people's art. I find that sometimes it's neglected. This is just a little artifact that I'm fixing that is actually behind details, so maybe who cares? There we go. All right, that should be good. So the line flow of the sections are pretty good, I should say. I'll be able to really know once I add the thickness anyway, like I said. But for the moment, that's good. Let's make sure that the surface itself is looking good, and for that, I'm going to add a metal material. And this metal material is going to actually help me to really see if there is maybe like a place in the surface that might be maybe a little bit too skewed. Or it will help me also to see if there's like a bumpy area, if it's not really smooth. Like we can see right now that it's not totally smooth. The line is not really like flowing like super well on it. I mean, that's kind of like one of the consequences also of working on a robot that has somewhat of a organic shape. But at least I still want the way that the sheen of the light like hits the surface. I want it to kind of like have a nice flow to it, or else you're going to see like a lot of like bumpy things, and that I don't like. Like it's still a bit skewered around here. That's not that bad. Let's flatten the blue part a bit. And little tip here, if you use H-polish and you realize that you're kind of like flattening your surface too much, and like maybe it was kind of like a round surface, but like while polishing it with H-polish, you realize that you actually lost the roundness. I really suggest just using the move brush and like bringing some curves back. So you see, like this is really like a curved mesh, and if at some point I realize that I lost too much of the curve, so I'll just like for example, if like this is like flattened, I'll just take the move brush and kind of like go around the silhouette and get back a bit of this like roundness. I don't need to call you out like this. Sorry. All right. That's probably good. Later, when I'll be adding the thickness, it's probably going to look good. Just realized I forgot to ZRemesh this part. So you see how all the silhouette is kind of like jagged and everything. If when I do a ZRemesh, if it gives me like artifacts, I'll note it's probably that. You see how there's many artifacts and such. If I actually just cut the edge, let's use the slice curve. Then I can delete that. Mirror and weld if needed. There's still some little like pieces here. There we go. And now if I do another remesh, see? Ooh, beautiful. Smooth as a baby's butt. Let's work on this here. So like this, what I want to do is probably I want to actually have like a slow curve like this, with having it like curving, not really too flat. Or maybe actually, oh, maybe that the apex should be actually here. And it could go down like this here. So that's pretty much what I want. And just to help myself, I could actually try to have the topology kind of like follow like the planes here for some of them. So I'll actually do, I'll use a slice curve again and see if ZRemesher is ready to play ball with me. Those can be the same polygroup. Alright, so I have this polygroup, this polygroup, this polygroup. If it can actually give me a flow that's going to respect that, it's going to make me a happy boy. Yeah, there you go. That's good. That might be a little bit too dense though, so let's just try at 100. Boom. Pretty good. I'm a happy boy now. Oh, there's a weird triangle here. Let's delete hidden. And having those edge flows just gonna help me with, like, I might not even use the crease. We'll see, but just having that helps. Like I can even, like, for example, just mask the border and try a polish by group. And the idea is that, like, I can try to have it like round surfaces, like smooth the surfaces without losing the edge. Now it's kind of like losing a bit too much of the shape, I find. So let's not do that for the moment. Let's use dam standard with alt to get back a bit of the edges that I lost with the smoothing. Let's move the rest by hand. All right, that should be good. All right, I'm back, I'm back, I'm back. Pramod, be right back with beer. Yep. Well, actually, be right back with spiked kombucha. There we go. The douchiness level is rising. It's gonna reach critical mass soon. I have a friend who's trying to make his own kombucha, and it looks disgusting. It's the kind of stuff that I don't need to know what it's made from. Actually, I need, but I mean, I don't need to see the process too much. All right, this plate here is going to really have a weird warped shape in the end. I'm kind of like realizing that maybe I should have actually given it like a different design, maybe. Or does it really matter? Hmm. Let's just put a layer on this one and try something. So there's a plate right here. You got this thing around here. Around this. What if I create two plates? And it's kind of like this here. Maybe that's cool. I'm gonna need something gray at the bottom of this. It kind of like connects this part and creates a, yeah, okay. Okay. So I should not have gotten rid of the mesh from before though. So talking about beer, a fun fact about beers from Quebec. Well, first of all, I mean, we have like incredible beers. There's a beer from a microbrewery that's actually close to my house that won international prizes for like how good it is. It's called. Actually, it's funny. It had a similar name as the beer I was drinking right there. It's called Péché Mortel, which means deadly sin. Um, from a microbrewery called Dieu du ciel, which means God from above. And it's a really good microbrewery. It's so fucking good. And this beer is like just probably one of my favorite, maybe my favorite. And so yeah, we have really good beers in Quebec. But there's like one company that's been existing for a long time. It's called Unibrew, which has been bought by Sleeman a few years ago. But the oops. But yeah, the something that's actually fun about Unibrew is that they they actually made a beer with Megadeth, like the band, the metal band Megadeth. There's like one or two kinds of Megadeth beer by Unibrew. It's actually funny. They're actually good. They're actually good beers. It's not just a name thing, it seems. So it's kind of funny to drink a Megadeth beer sometimes. And for those who were not there at the beginning of the stream, that's what I'm listening to right now. Best of Megadeth. Yeah, mechanical ribs. Well, I mean, they're more like synthetic muscles. Which beers exactly? SKR? The Megadeth beers? Yeah, cool. Yeah, they're nice. There's a one of them, or at least like I think the first one that they came out with is was called "A tout le monde," which is the name of one of their song by Megadeth, which means to everyone, as in like this message is for everyone. No, yeah, no, yeah, it's more like for everyone that it would mean "A tout le monde," for everyone. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, no, it's a good beer. It's a very zesty, so it's a really good summer beer. Not exactly the kind of beer that I am into. I'm more into like really really dark, thick beers. It's like it's the biggest contrast. Like I'll drink the hardest, most heavy, dark beer, but I will also make myself a kombucha with gin, or I'll have a cocktail. So I live in both extremes. One is like fancy, the other one is like the opposite of fancy. It's like a punch in the face in beer format. Balances out, yep. I feel like a lot of my life is like me balancing my extremes. Like I don't live in the middle of things. I live in both extreme at the same time, and it does balance yourself out, but it's kind of like, okay, let's say you have like a seesaw, all right, and you want it to be like balanced. It's like you could like place the rocks like in the middle of the seesaw here for it to balance right. But what I do is I put like a lot of like heavy right at the edge of the seesaw here and here, so the seesaw is straight, but it's kind of like bending near the ends. I feel that sometimes that's how I live my life. Maybe I'm romanticizing it a bit too much, but sometimes that's how it feels, let's say. I'm sure doctors would say it's probably not healthy. But kombucha supposedly can cure cancer, so yeah. I actually don't believe in that, no. But you know what? I might not believe in it, but I'm still buying a lottery ticket because I'm drinking it. So in case it's true, well, there you go. Why do people drink vodka so rarely? I do not think that people drink vodka rarely. I think it's one of the most popular spirit in Canada, actually. As far as I know, every time somebody's drinking like hard liquor, it's a high percentage of the time it'll be vodka. Yeah, maybe not good vodka. It's hard to get good vodka sometimes, but yeah, it's kind of like tequila. I mean, I actually always hated tequila. And one time I went to Mexico and I tasted the tequila there, and I was like, "Oh, okay. It's not that I don't like tequila; it's that the tequila in Canada sucks. At least the one that's affordable. Probably same for vodka. Probably you have to actually pay a lot to actually get good vodka. But I know for a fact that that's what it is for whiskey and scotch and that sort of stuff, which is probably my favorite spirit, whiskey and scotch. And those you have to pay a lot to get good scotch and whatnot. Which once in a while I'll splurge. Pistol Pete, get Tito's vodka. It's really good. Same for gin. There's a ton of good ones. Well, for gin, I actually really love Romeo gin. It's made with dill. I really like it. It's my favorite by far. By far. And I know for a fact that Pistol Pete has really good recommendation for scotch and whiskey as well. We had our little tasters back in the day. Oh, that's weird. I had a friend who actually had a digestive problem, and she could not actually drink hard alcohol except for vodka, because for some reason, since it's made with potatoes, a fermentation, for some reason, it actually did help her with her stomach issues. Well, I mean, it did not make it worse. That's what I mean. I'll just change the music. Just give me a second. You know what? I think I'll go old school and listen to a bit of Metallica. The old albums, please. Or no, actually, no, never mind. I know what I'm going to listen to. I'm going to listen to Sixth. B-Muff. Yeah, I did a little bit. I never listened a lot to it, but I did listen a little bit. So, Pete, I did listen to your clowncore music. I forgot to tell you, and it is, yeah, it's super cool. It's super cool. I prefer his not private stuff, but his personal stuff though. A little bit more fun. All right, thanks for following. Yeah, so there he is, but it's actually good. Like you see, they're really good musicians. So I'll split those into different parts. Thanks for the follow. All right, that's gonna work better. That part a little bit more interesting. Kind of like looks like rib cage thing. And I'm also going to make it fit better for sure, but one thing at a time. I also need to go and get the like a subtool to put like under here because it's like missing something. So what to do? Actually, you know what? I go back on this subtool, I think at some point I had, yeah. See, I have like a surface here I can probably capitalize on. There we go. Leprous. No, I don't know what that is. What is it? All right, well, I might try that later. I mean, if you recommended Clown Core and I actually liked it, I have less doubt that I like Leprous. Okay, cool. One of my favorite drummer is the drummer from Primus. I really love what he does. I also really like the drummer from Periphery. Dillinger Escape Plan, they have good drummers as well, I find. It changes sometimes though, but Tool. Yeah, Tool is renowned for its drummer. I actually don't listen a lot to Tool though. I have a few classic that I like, but hey, thanks for the follow. So that's probably going to be enough. Maybe I can actually have a section here that kind of like bridge a section here and here. That'd be cool. Or maybe like this complete like section can actually drop here. And thanks for the follow again. Yeah, actually that's not bad like this. Yeah, I think I'll actually, whoops, what the hell's that? Thanks for the, was that a follow? I didn't look quickly enough, sorry. Bulls. Tools Bulls. Thanks for the follow. Hey, thanks, XVisualD. I appreciate the comment. I like to think that I'm a fun guy. Pete can either say yes or no to that since he's my close friend. He'll probably say I'm a piece of shit. Pete. Look, yeah, there we go. So you're acting like being cool here? Yeah, exactly. This is all a masquerade. It's a facade. Yeah, exactly. This is just like a video playing right now, and I'm just like drawing with a pen. It's just, yeah, there we go. You got me. You're fun, but you're no fun guy. Yeah, man. I always like a good dad joke. So thank you for that. All right, so you see, like for this part, I feel like I actually fixed my issue. I feel that the disconnection of the parts like this is actually giving what I was looking for. So good. It's a good thing. All right, I guess I can create the final meshes for these parts now. Now that I'm at peace. Good. Yeah, I know, eh? You have a spidey sense every time you know that a mesh is ready. By the way, Pete, I did buy the 4-hour work week audiobook, so you can finally stop telling me to read it. The TLDR, Twitch Live something. What's TLDR? Twitch Live Director's Cut. Too long didn't read version. Deal. Ouais, je verrai. I didn't see if it actually was giving any graphics yet. I really just like went by it and leave. So I'll let you know. Yeah, man. I'll let you know. Well, I mean, I don't know when I'm going to start listening to it. Like probably like relatively soon since I bought it. But yeah, I'll let you know for sure. I might talk about it over the stream also. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. By the way, since I'm doing a lot of rinse and repeat, there's probably other things I can talk about. Is there anybody that has a question? It can be about anything. It can be about music. Can be about movies. Can be about food. Whatever. Let's start a discussion over here. Pete, you already asked me this question. It's 400. It's not a joke. It's actually 400. Let's watch the Human Centipede on stream. Yeah, nah, not interested. Can be fun though, for sure. I see why it could be fun, but I'd rather do ZBrush. Typical Pete. What is it like working with other high-level professional sculptors, and what's the general view on entry-level artists? That's a good question. Was it working with other high-level professional sculptors? So to answer this part of the question. How was it to work with other high-level professional sculptors? Well, when I was working in the industry, I saw a good couple of others, like pretty good artists, and they it was pretty inspiring. Like, I mean, if I just tell my story about meeting Cedric, who became my business partner, like he was like an important mentor for me, and like if he wasn't there, I mean, I would like I could believe that I would not be at the level that I am. Maybe not. Maybe I shouldn't put myself down like this, but I'm just trying to say that like he was of great help to me. So I'm really happy that I actually met him. And I feel like there was over my career, at least the 5 first years of my career where I was working in studios, I always end up like meeting like people that I could learn from, even if it's like artists that were like more modest. I find that like they always had like cool tricks to see here and there. Like I just remember um, I was working at THQ with a guy called Jason Mark, and I just like saw how he was using the H polish brush to really like manipulate the edges of his volumes and everything. And I remember trying that technique afterwards, and I was like, okay, all right, that is a cool technique that I will be reusing. So like it was nice to actually like see like him do that. But you know what? That's kind of like what I love about the whole idea of like Twitch is because even if I'm just like working using my shortcuts, I'm not necessarily like explaining really in depth everything I'm doing, but you can still see like some maneuvers and stuff like that. And when I think that it's useful, well then I'll actually like tell people like about it and what's the point of that technique and whatever. But it's all to say that like sometimes just like by watching some random person work, you'll catch like a little trick that can become like one of your like centerfold trick afterwards, and that's very valuable. So I mean that's something valuable from working with high level professionals. I'd say is that they always like have little tricks there that might actually be good for you. Um, I'll tell you one negative thing about working with professionals, though, is the more professional you get, the more you might have a shitty attitude. Because I've met some people with shitty attitudes, and it's more often professionals than juniors that have shitty attitudes. I feel like I'm saying that, and some people that might hear me out might think I'm talking about them. Um, so let me tone down what I just said. Actually, no. I'm not gonna tone it down. It's a reality. The more like you become good at what you're doing, the less critique sometimes you take. And I found that like sometimes with some people it was hard to have like a relationship because they didn't want to hear what I had to like to say. So there we go. It's something that happens, and I think you kind of like need to check yourself a bit when you become to that level and be open to like critiques and stuff or whatever. You know, I mean, especially like when you open yourself to critique. Like I don't super appreciate people that critique without like asking for permission to critique, but when you talk to someone and you share something and they get super defensive, sometimes that can be a bit unfortunate. Let's say. I feel that it happens a lot with professionals. Also, I find that professionals don't like to be told like what to do. Let's say that somebody is in a leadership position and like a professional is working for that person with a leadership position, and they don't take to the feedback you're giving them. That's unfortunate. I feel it stops like the wheels from turning, and it sucks. And for your second question, and what's the general view on entry level artists? What's the general view? Sorry, can you precise this question? What's the general view on entry-level artist? Can you maybe like rephrase the question? Stan Brush still makes music for Transformers related shows. I don't know that. Stan Brush. I'm doing a little bit more ZBrush over here. Right? Stan Bush. All right. Real time is great. A lot of people are good. A lot people they are good at conceited. Sad human beings. Trick is being rich or really good without being conceited. Sorry, what do you mean by conceited? Always good to have other perspective. Yep, always good to have other perspective. In general, it's good, but also just to like to play devil's advocate. Don't give comments if people are not welcome to receiving them. Also, it's not really a good thing to be a backseat driver to somebody else's art expression. Big-headed, yeah. Yeah. Know what you mean. Well, that's the thing. That's the kind of like the problem sometimes. I mean, and you know what? Nobody's perfect. Like I actually get like this sometimes. I try to catch myself being like this and fixing it though because it's not who I want to be. But some people I find they just like let themselves like go and they don't check themselves when they maybe should a bit. Stoic Inc. If you have just a sec, I would be curious to know what was your question when you said what's the general view on entry level artist? It feels like it's a good question. I'm just not sure that I understand it. I need to use my turn signal more when I do art. Yeah. I don't think you have to be ashamed of asking, in quotes, stupid questions, though. People make you feel ashamed of asking stupid questions. It's more their problems than yours. Like at school, I was renowned for asking stupid question. Like, like I don't know if it's just like an American thing, like Canadian American whatever thing, but when you finish school, there's like a book of like all the people that graduated and stuff, and there was like in my book there was like all of fame. It's like the best at this, the most that, and I actually won the award for the most, like, how can I say that? The most. I just have the expression in French in my head. I have to translate it. The most. Like, I guess lost, maybe, because I was never listening in class because I was just drawing all the time and I had like ADHD a bit, like mild level ADHD. Well, I still have mild level ADHD, but I mean, that's cool. It was pretty apparent because I was having a hard time listening in class. A real hard time. Except when I went to art school. I didn't have that anymore because I was somewhere that I actually liked to be. But yeah, no, I was considered like very lost when I was younger and asking stupid questions and stuff. Sometimes it was funny because like sometimes people thought that I was like fucking with the teachers, like just trying to laugh at them or whatever, and I really wasn't. It was really I was really asking like real questions because I wanted to know, but the questions were so like random. Some teachers thought I was like fucking with them. Some students thought I was fucking with the teachers. So I kind of like become a bit of like a cool guy because people thought that I was laughing at teachers, but I was really honestly just like asking questions that were maybe a bit, like you said, stupid or whatever. But you know what? It it it, it made for like the better. So I don't think anybody should be ashamed of asking stupid questions. Basically, an entry-level artist seems as a nuisance, like they slow down the process and need a babysitter. Um, well, you know what? There is an entry level of skill that is required for sure. And I think that is why I tell my students, like anybody that like I'm teaching to, that like once you're finished with school, like you're really not done with learning. And like when I was finished with school, um, I was like nowhere near at the level that I am right now, right? And although like I did a lot of progress as a character artist when I was at school, um, like there's so many things that I needed to learn, and I think it's very normal for somebody that just got out of school to have to work for a few months on its portfolio and to continue to do like things and um, like dress your portfolio with like many art pieces. And I would say like for any people that's like that are juniors, I would really recommend trying to um, provide like a few different styles in your portfolio. You kind of like need to double down on the stuff that you want to do because like people are going to hire you for what they see in your portfolio, but my recommendation would be to be able to show like some versatility. So like maybe uh, like 60 70% of like what you want to do and just show a bit of versatility because um, if you show a bit of versatility you have more chances to actually get a contract and if it's a contract that's like somewhat near to what you want to do, well at least you can grow from there and when you get home, continue to work on the portfolio that represents who you want to be. And at some point, like another opportunity will come to you, and yep. But you do need to make sure that the portfolio represents who you want to be, especially when you're like junior to mid level, right? Like once you've got a bit of the experience of working like in a team and whatever. Because let me tell you, when you get out of school, like it's hard to understand like how to actually be like how things are really working and such, and you can learn from any experience. So like I would recommend um, grabbing any experience that you can when you're out of school. Just see how things are, grow from there. Don't get lazy though, because I see people they get a job, they get the first job that they actually can, and they stop like evolving, right? I mean, and that's fine. It's fine if that's what you want to do. it's totally good to be comfortable where you are and not necessarily like pursue any like prestige or blah 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 or whatever. It's very healthy to be able to do that as well. But I'm just saying, like, if you're aspiring for something and you think that you don't have it, well, just know that like it might be because you're not putting any like enough effort into it, right? Like, if you are not pursuing any prestige, but you're happy being where you are, I mean, more power to you. That's perfect. But if you feel like you need to do something else, just know that like that feeling needs to come with the time and the effort as well, right? Because otherwise, there's nobody else to blame. Yeah, good. Ghost of Christmas Future. Yep, good point. What was the last game or film you worked for, or even right now? Well, I cannot talk about what I'm working on right now. I mean, I'm a video game character outsourcing company working for many films or video games. It's the most stupid thing I could do is to talk about like the project I'm working on right now. But if I can talk about maybe the things that I worked on in the past, I would say a good way to answer the question would be go and check the links at the bottom here. Go on the Chaos Mason links. It will you'll see that there is going to be a link to our website, and you'll be able to see the latest game that we worked for. There's a good couple of them, and there's some like I'd say that probably well, no, I'll just say that there's a lot of very exciting things that we're working on right now and we'll be able to talk about in the future. Not now though, because I don't want to get sued. But yeah, no, there's a lot of cool things coming for sure. As long as you're trying to learn, ask away. Yep, exactly. If I left you alone in the woods with a hatchet, how long before I can get past the entry-level artist phase? If I left you alone in the woods with a hatchet, how long before I can get past the entry-level artist phase? Um, oh, probably right away. I'll give it to you. I don't want to be in the wood with a hatchet, so I'm an easy target. Come on, what are NDAs for but break them? Yeah, exactly. It's the sole purpose of an NDA. Be broken. Now we're pretty we're very careful with all those NDA things or whatever. Like our company has a good reputation and we want to keep it. So yeah, very careful with that for sure. I'm looking to build a new PC and I still don't know where to start. Any recommendation on the setup? I'm the bad person to ask for that because I actually don't even know the specs of my computer. I always ask one of my friends to build the computers for me because he knows more about it and where to get the parts and stuff. So yeah, I outsourced that to one of my friends, which we could say that is probably something that they will talk about in the 4-hour work week. Pete? Executive X. Hey Marco, hope you are doing well, good sir. Well, thank you. I am doing well, and I hope that you are doing well as well, because you deserve it. How many artists are working at Chaos Masons? Right now, about like 50, 60, I think. It really like fluctuates and it changes depending on the needs of the our projects and that sort of stuff. We're always hiring though. We have a good core team of like artists that are with us since the beginning or like since a long time ago, but other artists are more like the kind that like come and goes and stuff. So like because of that, we're always looking for people. We have a big registry of like people sending their portfolio, and we like categorize them into like styles and skill level and availability and that sort of stuff. So yeah, always interested in receiving people's portfolio. If anybody actually have a wants to maybe work for us, you're always free to send us an email. So you just go on the link at the bottom here. You go Chaos Masons link. You type that. You go on our website, and on our website you'll find the contact page with a contact form that you can simply use to send us an email with your portfolio and whatnot. First buy a video card and then start from the amount that's left. Yeah, good one. Well, it's been a long, productive day, so all good. Yeah, good for you, man. Or woman. I don't know. Good for you. That's the workflow in your company. What's the workflow in your company? Like, what software are mostly used? Well, I mean, it's all the standard. I don't feel like there's really anything special about what we're using. Like we have ZBrush, Marvelous, Max or Maya, depending on what the client needs, and then Substance, like uh, like everyone. Nothing really special. Do you hire junior character artists? What qualification skills do you expect from juniors? We actually do hire juniors, but they have to have, like I said, a good skill level already. Like I have to feel that like it won't be like I'm not going to be like a teacher, right? Like we're always there um to like teach people to do a higher level of quality and stuff. That's like something that is part of like working for us, but um, the um, the artists still have to be like somewhat like qualified at the beginning. But like by looking at their portfolio, I mean, we pretty much get the answer. And if like we have like maybe a doubt, sometimes we send art tests just to see like how they would do on a certain like project. But no, we do hire juniors because juniors are like sometimes like so passionate about like learning and working and stuff, and this is like a great quality that I find is lost sometimes on like more senior artists. So we are absolutely interested in juniors, as long as, like I said, they can demonstrate like a certain amount of skill for sure. All right, that's gonna work. Let's bring back the hidden parts. Oh, would always love to work with you, but at the moment there's too much work and too little time for anything else. Yeah. Plus, we're like we're pretty much like for the grand majority of our artists, we ask that like people are available like 40 hours per week, so which pretty much is considered like a full-time job. Um, it's hard sometimes to do anything when we work for somebody that's part-time, like our clients are expecting things to be delivered at a very like standard pace, which means a 40 hours per week pace. And juniors are very ambitious. Yeah, they are. Well, I mean, some of them, but like we see it when somebody's ambitious. I mean, they take critique correctly. They want to do well. They listen to like your advice and that sort of stuff. It's great. Some juniors, we've met some juniors that actually didn't really want to put like the efforts in and stuff, and we ended up like being blamed of being like severe and like demanding and stuff. But it's like, dude, you're if you're working for us, you're gonna have to pull like you're gonna have to work. Seniors can be passionate too, for sure. I certainly am a passionate senior. Hire senior artists and hire juniors to get good quality. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean, if you end up like having like a lot of like artists, like senior artists in your company that are pretty much just like not motivated anymore, and like maybe having a few like juniors, at least passionate juniors, can actually bring a lot of good things. So no, I do believe that's a appropriate thing to say. My passion for seniors. Yes, I'm very passionate about seniors. I go in old folks' homes just to chill there. Thanks for the follow, by the way. All right, I think I'm gonna need to add thickness to that part before I actually like Do you think there's a big problem in the industry where juniors or such positions are hard to come by because studios recently require often to have more senior position and less giving chance to people who just started to get into the industry? Yes, I do. But I think it's bound to happen, and um, that's why I say like it's you kind of like have to know that when you're finished with school that it's going to take like some time before you work in the industry. And I think that like it's kind of like reasonable to think that like you might need to do like a bit of like freelancing when you get out of school, just to get your bearings a little bit, get some experience, and maybe work in the industry afterwards. Um, like I said, it's like for sometimes, well, I mean, not like I said, but like I'll say something new. Like sometimes on productions, um, like it's starting to be like, I guess that the answer is like yes, it's kind of like a problem in the end. But like I feel that like the more and more things are advancing, the more and more um, studios are asked to produce giant games with like less and less resources and financial help. Or at least I've come across like a lot of company that were like this, and it sucks for them. So in order to get like the greatest bang for your buck, um, you'll need to like they'll need to hire like people that are like extremely qualified at their job. So they end up like getting like seniors to make sure that they can actually like deliver without really wasting like too much time, like having to rework stuff and this and that. So like I see how it is kind of like necessary to when you hire someone that like is like close to fully qualified, at least for the like and being autonomous, I guess. But like it's true that it's kind of like some weird like catch-22 that like people are like, oh no, you need that much experience to work with us, but like where do you get that experience? And that's why I say like probably like what you need to do is do some freelance. Well, actually, you know what? No, before doing freelance, what you need to do is you need to work on your portfolio for a while and really make it good. Add stuff, new stuff, try a few things. Like your portfolio is your entry card for like your business card for getting a job. And like let like trust me, when we hire people at Chaos Masons, we almost never look at their experience or how many years they worked in the industry or where they worked before and that sort of stuff. We purely look at the portfolio and what we can see from the artist with the portfolio. Like that's so I know that like with studios that's not how they work, because like studios, what happens often is that the hiring will be done by people from HR and stuff, and they don't know what's a good artist or not. Like they can't tell. They don't have like the artistic eye, or at least I'm speaking in generalities, but like that's kind of like a mostly accurate generality I just said. So all of that to say that like yeah, in the industry you might actually be hired or not be hired by somebody that maybe doesn't have like the eye for things. So they're going to look a lot at your experience and less at your portfolio. But um, that being said, there still are company like mine who look at the portfolio and judge by the portfolio and not by numbers and stuff like that. In general, I heard that there are not many places in this profession and it is difficult to get a job. What do you think about this? It's super hard to be a character artist for sure. When I was in school and so I went to school in Montreal in a like in a course that was only 1 year. So you basically like had to learn all about 3D modeling. Thanks for the follow. You actually had to learn everything about like 3D modeling, um, like over that 1 year of being there, and it was a lot of work because like they basically it was a school that was financed by Ubisoft in order to create a lot of artists, because Ubisoft wanted to hire a lot of artists um, for the next 5 years. So it was like a 5 years initiative, and I arrived at the fifth year. And at first, I wanted to be a concept artist. And when we started to play with 3D programs, I was like, oh, okay, no, that that is what I like. When I touched ZBrush for the first time, I like really fell in love. And but like at some point they were starting to tell us like what kind of like 3D modelers we could be, like environment artists, prop artists, and they were also like there was like a few class of like character artists, but basically like people like almost like every teacher except for maybe one or two was basically just like, thanks for the follow by the way, they were basically just like telling us like, oh yeah, well maybe don't try for character artists because like they like only like 0 to 1 person gets hired as a character artist per year, and it's like usually I'm not like such a brave person, but in the back of my head, I knew that I loved doing that so much that I was like, you know what, like I'm gonna be that one person this year, like I'm going to be the one. And yeah, well, I ended up being the one because I was the only artist that was hired as a character artist within like. Thanks for the follow. Oh, the subscribe. Yay. Yeah, I was like pretty much like the only person that got hired as a character artist like within the first like year or 6 months of being finished with school. I was actually supposed to get hired right off the bat after school, to be honest, but they kind of like did a lockdown on hiring people at Ubisoft, so I didn't get the job. But I was supposed to. I was actually promised to get the job. I even moved to a more expensive apartment when I learned that I got the job. I was gonna get the job. I mean, I went on a trip and stuff, and during the trip, I learned I was not gonna get hired. So I was like, okay, well, now I'm fucked. But I continued working on my portfolio. I took a couple of like freelancing jobs, and eventually I was hired at THQ by David Giraud, who gave me my first job. So yeah, no, it's true that that there's not a lot of places and stuff, but like I mean, if you really love it, it should not stop you from trying to become a character artist. Just know that yes, it will come with like a lot of effort for sure, but you know what? If you like it, you should pursue it. That's as simple as that. If you can afford it, of course. Afford it in terms of like putting the time in. Like I'm just being realistic. If you have like a family and you need to get a job like right now and stuff, like maybe going into something so competitive is not something that you should do if like in the immediate you need to feed your family and stuff, but you still should try to at least slowly get there so that one day you can do that. Thanks for the follow or the sub. I forgot to watch what it was, sorry. But yeah, that's my story over there. Well, people want things to be done fast and with good quality and not waste their time pretty much. Yeah, because right now recently I tend to rework other people's stuff because of what they said. You said exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's 100% what I'm saying. Especially when you hire an outsourcing company that like has like cheap artists and they give you cheap work and you need to rework stuff. Like that was a pain in the ass. When we started Chaos Masons, we were like, we're going to create an outsourcing company where like the people internally don't need to rework anything that like we give them. That was one of our mandates. Should be judged by work. Yep, exactly. Yeah, per year, one per year. That was a rough statistic to be told for sure. Well, yeah, Julio, thanks for the subscribe. That's appreciated. Gotta have that consistency and stubbornness to become what you want to become and not let other people judge your faith. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And look at you now. Look at me now. A crying shame. It's always about timing. Well, there's a lot of like things that are about timing for sure. Um, I feel that like timing is part of finding yourself a job for sure. But you have to create your luck necessarily. Like let's say that timing is something that's based about luck. If there's actually work or not, you still have to work for this luck for sure. So it's kind of like poker. Like you might be dealt like a bad card, but like you have to read the stats or because like things can actually like change sometimes. You have to be ready for it. You have to make the right decisions and go with your gut and everything. I learned everything by doing master studies. How do you feel about seeing studies of your own sculpts? Do you like to see one study is something inspired by yours or something completely new? An original character. So I actually am not sure that I understand your question. I'm sorry. Can you maybe like reformulate it? Dude, I never seen a guy work as hard as this motherfucker does. Thanks, Pete. I had to rework 100 assets. That was a pain. Oh my god, that's bad. Marco's a big guy now. Yay! He cuts his own meat. Damn right I do. Actually, I kind of like chew on it without cutting it, but like that's just a detail. Any experience in Marvelous Designer? A little bit, a little bit. I really like just the base level. I don't super like it. Actually, I don't like it at all. So I tend to stay really far from it. Sometimes for work, I'll be using it. So like I know the basics of it, and when I use it, it's always like, yeah, when I use it, it's always just for like creating like some basic like drapery and shapes of things. But I don't go like do all the seams and stuff or whatever. I think that people that know how to do that, it's a great skill to have, and I actually encourage them to do that. But yeah, it's just it's not what I prefer. But like sometimes when it's really needed to really create the effect, I will be using it because I believe that it's important to know like good tools at the end of the day, you know. Did you ever try dry brinning steak? No, I did not. Or maybe I did, and I just don't remember the name. Maybe? Okay, I got a design question regarding hard surface character or any in general. When you design parts that tend to move, do you worry much if it's going to stretch and bump into things or look cool nonetheless sometimes? If I work for a client and it's going to be animated, I absolutely will create a blocking that can be tested in animation to see if things will work before doing the final polish. I call that a proxy. So basically, you do a blocking and you decimate that blocking so that the animators can do like a quick rig and skin on it, and then do like a few like animation tests to know if it's going to bend and work correctly. But if I actually just like do something for myself, I just do like a quick check. Like I go by feeling basically. And when I pose the character later, if there's anything that needs to be changed in the design, I um, I change it. Sometimes I'll do like a blocking. I'll pose the blocking, and I'll actually see where I might actually need to rework some stuff. That's another way of how I go by things when I work for myself. Thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. So that part I'm working on right now is really the pain that might the part that might be like a fucking pain in the ass. It's the last part I need to work before I can create before all my the areas of the torso are with their final topology. Let's say final topology minus their thickness, though. So yeah, let's try to make that work. The thing that I placed right there is already placed in the angle that I want, so it's going to be about giving this mesh somewhat of a shape that will work with well, with this here. This would, which actually would probably benefit in having a bit of a Dynamesh, or at least like this part here. So I think I'm going to disconnect those two parts, reconstruct subdivision this, and this one, give it a little Dynamesh, so I can smooth this part here. There we go. I'll create the final mesh now. This green character kind of reminds me of the Anthem mech they did. I think Interceptor was the name or something. I actually did not play or really saw a lot of Anthem, so I would not know, unfortunately. Thanks for the follow. But you know what? At the end of the day, everything kind of like looks like everything nowadays, and even when you create something super original, I find that like it's sometimes kind of like a double-edged sword because it's like easy to be associated with like the other nearest thing that looks original. So I think that a nice way to live in peace, in internal peace, is just to do what you want to do and have fun with it. There are some people that like new things. There's some people that like classics, and you get to choose where you fit in there. You're the guy I'm currently watching the most on Twitch. Happy to know that. Always very inspiring. Also, one question about your portfolio. You think someone who is starting to build a good portfolio should focus just on one type of modeling, like just hard surface or organic, or just to do something that looks good without thinking too much about this? Well, like I said earlier in the stream, I think that like it's important to focus maybe like 60-70% on what you want to do, but actually have a little bit of like other like some variety, because it's important to show like your colors and what you want to do, because that's how you'll eventually get to work in the kind of stuff that you want to do. But if you're looking for work, sometimes you kind of like need to give what the industry wants. And I'll tell you right now, the thing that the industry wants the most right now is humanoid, so humans in clothing. And when I say humans, I mean just human shape, because if we're talking about like faces, like I see so many people doing like face studies and stuff, and there's like almost no work for that because like everything now is done with scans, so it's like scan corrections and stuff. And although it's like it's nice to see like a cool, a nice face done in 3D, I'm always like, dude, you're not gonna get work with that, like except if you're like the best artist at doing that. But it's super rare, super rare. But the thing that like people are looking for the most is just people with outfits, like medieval outfits, armor outfit, or just like casual clothing. Like, I mean, when you think about that, I mean, Last of Us, which is a crazy game, it's just normal randos in outfits. It might be actually like a sad state of the industry that things are not more original for sure. Like I'm not saying that like things are all right how they are, but I'm just saying that like if you're looking for work, I mean, you kind of like have to, like I said, give the industry what it needs, and on the side, constantly be working on showing what you're really good at in your portfolio, and hope that like maybe somebody's going to discover you and give you the chance that you were looking for. I mean, that's what happened to me at least. Like I gave at the beginning of the like I made a portfolio with like a few things, some variety to kind of like put not put all my eggs in the same basket. Got a job somewhere, did some cool stuff, but not necessarily what I really wanted. And at some point, I like, thanks for the follow. I started to yeah, I started to just like do a little bit more of like what I really wanted. Like this is when I actually like did the wasp. It was because I was like, hey, you know what? I'd like to have like a fucking like job at doing like mechs and stuff or whatever, and so I was like, oh, I'll create like a crazy mech or whatever, and it did help me to get like more mech related work afterwards. I was not really informed with the news about what happened. Sorry to hear that. I'd say do whatever you like doing most, because industry is so broad. Try everything and see where you fit the most. Whatever suits you. As Marco said, try to not lock yourself to one thing. No, exactly. Like the effort in organic will help you get stronger in hard surface and vice versa. Yeah, exactly. Like doing hard surface can organic can actually like help you later with doing like organic can help you with mechanical afterwards. Like if you really want to learn like how to do like mechanical things, the body is actually like kind of like a mechanical wonder when you think about it. So you can learn a lot by doing like anatomy, even if you want to end up like doing mechs and stuff. So yeah. Thanks for the follow. So I cut this piece here, but I'll be working on like adding the thickness afterwards. Not sure how is going to be the best way to work this thing here. Yeah, I think I'll try to somewhat kind of like finish this piece and call it a night. If I install ZBrush today, how long till I become a Chaos Mason intern? Are you going to stop doing race car driving and dedicate yourself to 3D, or so yeah, Pete, answer me this question. Let's say I do. Let's say you do stop racing. I'd say probably, I don't know, 5 years. Okay, I don't know how this mesh is going to turn out. Let's see. Wow. That sucks. I don't feel like it's such a complicated mesh. Maybe I need to split it into two subtools. Decent enough. What about this one? Hey, doesn't really like it, eh? I don't see what's so complicated about that mesh. So since it's actually like really not, you know what, I'm not gonna fight with ZBrush. Let's just use. There you go. Let's use topology. And that will do. Hey, thanks for the subscribe. It's much appreciated, Stoic. Can always rewind the VOD and really microanalyze every moves he's making and copy the model as cool as you can. Yeah, technically, I guess. Eh? Deceptively complicated. Good luck doing that. ZRemesh is funky with narrow groups. Yeah, actually, exactly. When it gets narrow, like especially when it comes like in a spike, it really doesn't like it. Oh, I won't. I used to be able to do that, but I fell out about it. You got for a Zen modeler, you don't need to go to Maya and retypo something anymore. Yeah, exactly. Of course. Gonna hit the sack. Cheers, bro. Alright. On se revoit bientôt. Ciao, dude. Ben, je te remercie bien. I'm getting pretty tired myself. Next time I will probably be able to start doing the the thicknesses of the meshes and stuff, and yeah, it'll go pretty fast from there. That was like a lot of like foundational work that I did right there. So when I'll start adding the thicknesses and the subdivisions and everything, it'll look pretty clean at that moment. And when I'll have the thickness, it'll be like easier to work on that shape and how it connects with the part inside. But at least all the foundational blocks are there. Like I said, next time it'll go pretty fast finishing that part. It was a pretty complex one also. But yeah. Yep. We did some good stuff with that. Oh, I forgot a mesh here. I feel like I'm going to need, like I'm not gonna polish that part, but I feel like I'm going to need to keep this mesh to act as like a block inside of the model in case I need like anything to watertight this mesh or to add like for the contour here. Yeah. So for the moment, I'll just push the mesh in where I don't need it. I don't need it anymore, I should say. Thanks for the follow. So yeah, here I won't need it. Like, and I might need it like inside here maybe a little bit. We'll see how things connect, but we'll kind of like need a foundation for like that ball joint to rest on. since I always sculpt my things in order to maybe like print it if I want to print it later. All right, there we go. Cool. All right, well, we got the foundation to work for that. All right. So much thickness to the model because it's so sick. Yes, very sick. Gotta worry, so there are no holes in there. Lol. All right, well, yep, I think that's going to be it. I think this is going to be it. So let's save our file, make sure we have not done that for nothing. And yep, I'm gonna call it done for tonight. So thanks for everyone for joining. Thanks for those who actually subscribed. That was it's really appreciated to see the commitment that people can have into that. And I mean, let me tell you, it won't be for nothing because I intend to grow this thing. I know I have so many projects, I have so many things to do. Like I'm a busy person, I'm a busy dad, but I really love doing that thing. Like I never thought of like making money with that. For me, it's always like an idea of just like doing that to share a moment with people, but share my knowledge at the same time. So that's why I'm saying like I'm really grateful for like people who are bringing it like one step above and stuff. So thanks for those. And thank you for like anyone that's actually well, there you go. Thanks, Executive X. That's much appreciated. So yeah, thanks for and thanks for like even people that are like following. I'm extremely happy to know that like people like just join and come and hang out with me. That's really cool. I never knew that I was actually going to have so much fun with that. Thanks, V Shadow Boy. That's much appreciated as well. So yeah, thanks for everyone. That's so cool. Ooh, a little what's that? Tier 1 sub. It's the first gift sub in the channel. That's cool. Oh, Josh, you lucky son of a bitch. All right, that's cool. That's cool. You see, I don't even know what like a hype train is. I am so new to Twitch. Sometimes it's ridiculous. I'll simply say that I love to see what I'm seeing, the interaction going on. It's cool. It's really nice. Keep the high coming before he goes away. Winner. Well, thanks, SKR. That's much appreciated. Sub, gift, or use bits to get to the next level. I have no idea what I'm looking at right now. I don't get it. I don't get it. Oh boy. I guess I'll learn. But yeah, let's call it a night for the moment. Still, um, thanks for the follow. How many streams before you call this character done? Whoa. Well, I mean, okay, so I made the foundation for the character, for the torso. Next stream, I'll probably be able, if let's say I stream for 3 hours next week, I'll probably be able to, I might be able to finish the torso or part of it. So next one, I might actually finish the torso. Then I'll need to place the IMMs for the cables on the neck, which might actually take me half a stream, maybe finishing the torso and another half of stream, so like 2 streams. Then the foundation for like the neck and finishing part of the neck could be like another stream, so 3. The head foundation, the head maybe 4. Detail. Like I'm thinking that it might take like another like 5 streams maybe to finish the polishing, but then I might actually like do a stream where I'll do some like test poses maybe and actually posing the character. It should not take long. I never make really complicated poses for the insectoids. They're pretty much like a museum pose, I should say. But if I pose a character, it might be just like another stream. So 6 streams maybe to have the character pose. Oh yeah, and texturing also. If I texture, and the texture can go pretty fast, but it's pretty tedious also sometimes. It can take like another 2 streams. So like there might be like a couple more streams before we get to do something else. Then there's going to be rendering, but rendering I'm going to do that on the side. I'm not going to do a stream about rendering because it's just like it's so tedious and it takes so much time just to render and whatever. Plus I'm just reusing always the same calibration. And I don't consider myself necessarily like super knowledgeable at rendering, so whatever. But then I'll be starting on something new, I guess. I'm still thinking of what I want to do next. Kind of like thinking maybe doing some creature thing, or maybe just like I said yesterday, I think on the stream, doing maybe a mix of like biomechanical with like organic parts and mechanical parts. I don't know, something like that. I actually really need to like find an idea, something that I find inspiring, because if left to my own device, I would probably just do another insectoid. I have like a spider-like insectoid that I did that I'm like could be like a cool model to do, but since I've spent so much time doing this insectoid, I'm thinking maybe people want to see something new. Could be refreshing maybe a bit and show that I can also do like other things than hard surface characters. So yeah, something I'll see. We'll see. Hope to see more streams. Well, you'll get more streams for sure. I gifted a subscription to someone. That's a gift sub. Okay. All right. That's good. That's cool. That's generous. Thank you, Stoic. That's really cool. So cool. More stream coming. Yeah, absolutely. That'd be fun. Love to see more organic. Okay, yeah. So I'll take all of that in consideration. And a 3, 2, 1. Hype train finished. Boom. Do I need to do something like that? Am I cooler because I do that? You missed the hype train. The hype train is long gone. Better luck next time. I don't understand what that means. Maybe someday I'll do, and maybe sometime I'll cry because I lost the hype train. But for the moment, whatever. Whatever, who cares? All right, cool. So for real this time, I'm calling that a night. So I'll wish you a bonne soirée, a Sculpt Soirée, and we'll see each other soon. Take care, everyone.